I used to go out, and because people used to come by the studio, and they'd want to hang, and then just, this is Austin, y'all. No matter where you are, no matter where you stand, you surrounded by bars and alcohol.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Everywhere. Even when you think you're not surrounded by alcohol, homeless people just drinking. Shit. I saw a squirrel with a bottle the other day. Yeah, so it's too easy to drink in this town. So, yeah, being that I'm at home right now, I just stay at home, and I usually just kind of, and it's real late, and I just usually just want to eat. And
I want to get this 1729 whiskey that my brother introduced me to, but I'm like, don't buy that.
1729. Tell the people what that is.
It's a small batch bourbon. I mean, they make different ones, but this small batch bourbon. When I went to hang out with him the weekend, he had some in his freezer. He said, "I don't really drink this. You want some?" I was like, "Well, I brought my bottle of Knob Creek. I can drink that."
Yeah.
But I was like, "Well, let me taste that." And once I tasted it, I was like, that Knob Creek. I'm like, "Get the away from me."
Talking to Don, and Don, he came over to the house. So it was a friend, Don. Don took us out to eat one time and made the mistake of trying to be a high roller. Went to a steakhouse and said these. I'm gonna tell y'all, when you go to a steakhouse, don't ever say these words to the waitress. Bring me your finest bourbon.
Don't say bring. If you find yourself saying "bring me your finest," just stop. Listen to what you just said and go like, You know what? See what they want first, and then come back around to me.
Yeah, that fool said some shit he saw in movies. TV shows. That motherfucker saw Game of Thrones or something. He saw some king and some fantasy or something. Yeah, James Bond. He was watching the Sword in the Stone or something. Bring me your finest ale. Yeah. No, fool, don't work like that.
A flagon of your finest ale. For me and my mates have traveled long and have a king's thirst.
That fool looked at the waitress and said, "Bring me your finest bourbon." And without hesitation, she said, "Okay," and booked out that bitch before.
I know, because we both went, no, don't say that.
Shit, she was gone.
She was,
Shit, her tray was still spinning. She was gone before anybody could say something.
And I was even feeling like, I can't blame you, sweetheart.
No.
You were presented with a golden opportunity. Your friends would have talked about you if you had stuck around.
Yeah, she looked at Don and said, "Oh, you that damn fool. Oh, we don't get many of your kind in here. But when we do, I'll be right back." And she came back and she brought him. Now, check this out. If y'all ain't ever heard this before. So this guy went to this steakhouse, high-end steakhouse, and asked all of us. He told all of us, like, "I just want to live it up tonight. I just want to live it up with my friends. Please, won't you join me?"
Order whatever you want.
Yeah,
it's all on me.
Yeah, man. And so she went and got that bourbon. Didn't say anything really about it. She says, "Your finest bourbon that you asked for, sir. We aim to please. Enjoy." Just rolled out. And my man sat up there and he said, I should have told you this before. Don don't drink.
Yeah.
Not only does Don not drink, but Don said, "I don't like alcohol, but tonight might be the night. Maybe if I order their finest shit, maybe that's been the problem. Maybe I haven't had the finest bourbon. If I have their best bourbon, maybe that'll be the one to tip me over."
I mean, that works if you already like alcohol. Like, for so many years or decades, I didn't like gin until I finally got to taste good, higher end gin. I was like, oh, I do like this. Same with tequila.
Yeah, what he didn't do is he didn't start off with the nasty, cheap shit like we all do, and break himself in. So when you do finally start to acclimate yourself, when you do condition yourself to liking cheap alcohol, and you think that's some good shit, when they finally give you the good stuff, then you start realizing, but see, good stuff to you is like, oh, now I'm drinking the $25 stuff instead of like the $15 bottle of Boone's and shit.
Yeah.
Now I've worked up to like, from there I can work up to 35, and from there like, all right,
sure.
I'm educated enough to know my limits and where to stop. I know my bank account well enough. I know what's up. This man tried to jump from I don't like alcohol at
At
all
all.
to let me get the finest shit because that's gonna convert me. It's gonna make me a believer. And so when he did that, they brought out, he sipped their finest bourbon and said, nope, don't like this either. Y'all want this shit? Ah, Jesus, how y'all drink this shit?
Mama.
I didn't know how you could even talk. I didn't really understand how y'all drink alcohol like that. That shit made him drunk immediately. I really don't understand alcohol like you do. You drink this stuff? And we said, well, fuck it, give it to us,
Yeah.
man. We drank it, and the shit was smooth.
Oh, it was nice.
It was nice.
It was like a Macallan 18 or 25 year.
Trying to be a high roller. He was like, all right, well, shit, I lived it up tonight. I've had steak and fish with my finest of friends here. They brought that bill out. And he's like, money is no problem. Bring out the bill. And he brought that shit out. And I noticed, because we were talking, but I noticed when he brought it out, I noticed that his body language changed.
And all motor function stopped.
That fool, no offense, and I ain't trying to make fun of the man, but that fool kind of turned into Stephen Hawkins, man. I noticed his body twisting up and shit. Jaw was all. I was like, what the fuck is wrong? I was like, oh shit, I know what's going on here. I don't even know. And we were all laughing and shit. His laughter died down. He was, you know, it was before it was like, yeah, I know. Like when we were getting ready to wrap things up, I'm like, well, shit, y'all ready to go? He was like, I hate to say this, but can y'all help me? It's all like he looked like he was homeless. Like he's out in the snow. Can y'all help me? And I would have told him before, but he was so. When you tell Don not to pay for something, he really insists on paying for it.
Yes, he does.
You cannot stop him. So I said, if he knows what he's doing, and even if it does cost more than what he thought, I don't know where he gets the money from, but he'll pay for it. But let me tell y'all something. And I exaggerate stories sometimes. So I'm
here to vouch for everything you're saying right now.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
So I believe that little glass, just a step above a shot of bourbon, the finest bourbon. I believe it was a Pappy Van Winkle.
No, he asked for a Pappy Van Winkle, and I was saying, like, don't get that. That's what assholes do when they're trying to impress people. And the waitress said, oh, we had a bunch of guys, businessmen in last night, and they drank our only bottle of that.
Well, let me tell you what it was before you say something. So they brought that out, and I believe, let me ask you this, was it more than 100?
Yes.
That shit barely above a shot, whatever this was $150.
That was what it was exactly.
$150 fucking dollars for a small glass of their finest and most expensive or close to it bourbon.
Yeah.
Don't y'all ever go into any place that looks high end and say, bring me your finest. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck if it's a steakhouse, seafood joint, a cat house. Don't go and ask for your finest anything unless you exactly know what you are getting into.
Also, don't be afraid to say, hey, how much is this?
Yeah.
You know, there's this like, well, I don't want to look cheap. No, you're just asking for information. There's no shame in that.
Yeah, you don't want to look cheap while you telling us, help me.
Right. Yeah.
Because now you looking cheap and stupid right now. So which one you want to do? You want to look cheap? You want to look cheap and stupid?